Okay, I'm back for another broadcasting segment of the conversation. I've had a little time to sit back and think about things and figure out how to dig down and get into the depths of this abyss of confusion and filth. It's a really deep thing. I mean, this thing is so confusing and it's the layers of it. As I said to you all before, and I think I like to put a lot of emphasis on this particular phrase. I call this brilliant evil. Evil in its brilliance, because even though it's like just layers upon layers upon layers of different ways and strategies and tactics and deceptions and corruptions and oh my God. So for you to have to go into that thing and unravel it, and then you realize in the unraveling of it that it's very intentional and designed. It's designed like it's like a big mess, but every piece of it is unique. It's uniquely in its place. It's brilliant. I mean, it's like constructing the world neatly, the trees, the air, the birds, and the earth, all of the elements that you need to make something operate so beautifully so that people can live. This is like the exact opposite. It's like all of the filth and degradation and confusion and design of patterns. It's so difficult. Nobody could figure this out. This is ingenious. It's deep. It's like pus coming out of a abscess. It's an abyss. It's filthy. It's dirty. It's corrupt. It's nasty. But it's truly spectacular. I gotta say that. The evil is so well formed. I commend the orchestrator and say, regardless to the depth and the intention, you are definitely wise, and that must be respected. So I do give respect in regard to that. But at the same time, we need clarity. And see the depth of this abyss of poverty and confusion and crime and lying and stealing and killing and black on black crime and police violence and national emergency and the creation of all this that makes this monstrosity of a abscess or whatever you want to call it explode, and the pus just burst out and envelop the planet. We've got to get in here and dig around in it and pull out the root. We've got to go in here and I know, I don't have the best of conversations or lyrics in the conversation that I'm having with you, so bear with me. I'm doing my best to figure out this filth. I've been working on it. I do my best to try to arrange my thoughts and figure out, because every time you look at one thing, there's another, and then there's another, and then there's another, and there's another, and you're like, whoa. I mean, it gets so overwhelming. Nobody can specify one thing and say, well, this is the problem, or that's the problem, or oh no, that's the problem, or the problem's over here, or the problem's up there. The problem is everywhere. The problem is all over the place. Like I said before in the beginning, they're just talking points. You can talk about what's right. You can talk about what's wrong. You can do whatever you want to do with this, but you can't do anything with this. This is brilliant. This is above and beyond your average natural comprehension. So with all that being said and given great reverence to the author of this confusion, I'll have to say that in it all, there is a clarity. There's a stillness. There's a stopping point. There's a place where you can arrive and view this spectacular event from another place, another position of being able to realize the simplicity of the confusion. Yes, there is a simplicity in the confusion. The confusion is for you to concentrate and or be consumed or involved in the confusion. In order to be able to operate in the confusion without being confused means that you have to focus on what's truly important in the world. It's like a laser vision, clarity, understanding, truth. The elimination of division. See, within the abyss of poverty and crime and hate and murder and lies and stealing and killing, inside of all that, there has to be a stillness and a clarity and a place for us to find peace and humanity. In the noise, there's got to be a calming. And I would think that that's the reason for the noise, is to find the calming, because in pain, you look for something to subdue the pain. And so medicine, get a shot and put you out of your pain so that you can relax and deal with this problem. The problem doesn't go away, you just eliminate the pain. So we use different things to eliminate the pain or to relieve the tension and the pain. And in most cases, that's music, churches. Even though you all think we don't like education, that's not true. We do like to learn. We love to know. We just don't like what we're learning. We're not learning what we need to know to move forward. The first learning, and we're going to get to that too. We're going to talk about that because that's very important. That's going to be the antidote. That is the antidote to the entrepreneurial drug dealing enterprise. This is what we can use. There's something that we can use to replace that, because anytime you have an addiction, you have to replace it, that those habits, those individual habits, because habits are very intriguing when you look at it. You can have a habit of smoking, and you would think that your habit only involves the act of actually inhaling the smoke, but it also involves the exhaling of the smoke. It involves the picking up of the cigarette. It involves the way you dump the ashes. Some people blow them. Some people, flick them. It's just different ways that people do things, and all this becomes habit. It's just not just the inhaling of the smoke, but it's the whole operation of the smoking. So what we have to do now is figure out how to understand all the elements of this brilliant evil piece by piece in order to pull out the essence of what's being consumed. Because inside of the brilliance of evil is the consummation, the consuming of the people. You've been consumed with evil. Consumed, meaning to be overwhelmed with evil. It's so much evil, it seems like it's not evil. It seems natural. It seems normal. Now, evil no longer seems like evil anymore. It almost looks good. Tastes good. Many of us said it is good. Am I saying that America's evil? Yes, very much so. America, the abyss. America, the abyss. America. We are in America. We're in America. The abyss. What is the abyss? Y'all ready for this one? Some of y'all think y'all might be going to hell. Some of y'all think y'all might be going to heaven. But I'm going to tell you something. That may be true. And it may not be true. But let's just imagine that it is true. That we may be going to heaven. We may not be going to heaven. In the afterlife. But see, in this present life, for those that think that one day you could possibly, if you don't get saved, go to hell, I'm here to tell you, you're not going to hell. You're in hell now. This is hell. We're in the belly of the beast. Dead center. What do you mean, Ramondo? Are you telling me that we're in hell? Come on, stop that. We're in hell. We're in the bottomless pit as we speak. As you see me here speaking to you now, we are in hell. This is hell. And America is the abyss. America is the pit of hell. 330 million people. You've heard of the gates of hell. That's the border around hell. Just the pit. What do I mean? Because this is where it's pitiful. This is the pit. This is where the most pitiful activities happen within a nation. That's within the world. This is the pit. This is that pitiful place of lying, stealing, and killing. And yes, it all starts with the lie. That's first. In order to have an abyss or a abscess type of pus-filled place, it's got to be filled with germs. I remember when I was a little boy, My father, my stepfather, Robert Collins, who was Curtis Mayfield's road manager, he used to always call us germs. Oh, you little germs! Come here, you little germs! Boy, get over here, you little germ! All germs ain't bad. You have some good germs. Sometimes you need some good germs. But this place has been infected with the brilliance of evil. We've been blinded. We've been blindsided. And I'm not going to go in here and discuss, or not discuss, we're going to discuss it, but I'm not going to sit here and even put the evil down, because I think it's brilliant. And it works. The evil works better than the good, because we can see what we follow. We follow evil. Lying, stealing, and killing. That's evil. Isn't that evil? Is that evil? Do you do evil? Do you lie? Do you steal? Do you kill? Of course you do. So you understand evil? Evil has a beginning point. Lying. If you'll lie, the Bible tells you this. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. So don't nobody be tripping, talking about, he think he knows something. I don't think I know nothing. I'm telling you only, I am not even telling you. I am saying to you only what you already know as common sense. I'm just going into it and I'm picking the soil apart. I'm picking the scabs apart. The little scabbies. So that the pus can skeet out. And you can see the truth of what's inside of our nation. I say our nation because we're all here. I say our nation because we're all human. Human. And I'm going to tell you something else too, because I'm going to get around to all this and I'm kind of picking at this sore. But I want you to know too that in the humanness, white people, black people, and all people, all of you people are the same. You're human beings on the planet Earth in different places, speaking different languages, looking different ways. And then you are divided as a result of that. And then instead of being intelligent about that arrangement, you decide as a nation of ethnic people to divide and separate yourselves into factions and ultimately go to war about differences of opinions. Quite dumb, actually. It's not too smart. Not considering how smart we could be, people of the world. We could actually be very smart. We could get along first of all. We could decide to help the world and heal the planet before it's too late. We could love one another. We could realize that we're all extensions of this great reality, and that everybody plays a little bitty significant part to keep it turning. Everybody got a little something. God gave everybody. And you may say, well, what do you mean by God, Ray? This creative thing that we call God, higher power, higher being, all-knowing, Jesus, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah, and all the rest of the great names that we give to that which we say created us, this magnificent piece of human experience, and makes it operate freestanding, able to be alive, to breathe. So we show reverence to something that we say made all this possible. And whatever that may be, it deserves our reverence. Whatever we may call it, in any part of the world, all over the world, It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. See, I'm not into division of nothing. Not Republicans, not Democrats, not independents, not Catholics, not Protestants, not Baptists, not Muslims, not Christians, not Hebrews, not Jews, not nothing. We all one people on this earth. Simple. Now the abyss is clear. And anything that goes against that creates evil. The beginning. Love for the world. Concern for the entire world. Then there's no need for war. Then we can actually do the math of the resources times the amount of people and make a decision how we need to move forward in our consumption so that everybody can have a decent life. And there is enough. If we really sit back and say, okay, let's not be so greedy. Number one, let's make sure that the world is taken care of. Then there's no need for wars. There's nothing to fight about. What could you fight about? Other than the lunacy and the and emotional disrespect, which laws take care of that. You know, you don't mess with nobody's family, money, wife, children. Respect that. It's simple. See, the abyss is confusing because you can do anything. If you remember the song, New World Order, Curtis Mayfield, myself and Brian Fleming, and Carlos Glover, it said that freedom's never been free. Because see, freedom is good to the extent that it's good. And then when it transgresses into somebody else's freedom, it's no longer freedom. Then it becomes violation. So freedom is you're free to be as respectful as you can be to other human beings. And then you can go past respect and go into caring about people. And then you don't have to worry about being free. Everybody be free then. See, the world has to take care of itself and each other. The people of the world have got to take care of yourself and everybody else that you see. You're responsible for them. So when you see something, everybody's supposed to, a problem, we're supposed to all not just run just to look and say, wow, look what happened. That house on fire or this, that, and other. And I know it's scary, but we got to reach out and help. Why do I say that? I think I'm some authority on something? No. I just researched. I just paid attention to the world. I just paid attention to people. I have a heart for people. I love the whole world. I love blacks, whites, Hispanics, Indians, Asians. I think the whole world was necessary for us to be the whole world. So I'm not no hater of people. I love people. Especially when they nice. Especially when they're helpful. Especially when they'll listen. Especially when they're good. See, I watched the riots in Baltimore, Ferguson, New York, Chicago, Atlanta. I saw people marching, some protesting, some looting, some thugging, some loving, some helping, some praying. I saw all that. And in all that, I saw the signs, Black Lives Matter. I saw no justice, no peace. I saw a lot of different things that people were saying about the movement. And then I noticed that inside of it and right in the front were white people with the black people. And automatically you get paranoid. You say, are they, agents or something in there? The provocateurs, or what is this? Are they in there to see what we're planning or what we're thinking? Or, wow, what is that? You get paranoid, You look at it. But in some of their faces, because we don't trust, we scared. We've been dogged. When you've been dogged, it's hard to trust. Just think about an abusive relationship. Somebody been in an abusive relationship, and you've been beating this person up for years and years and years, and then they finally leave you, and then or act like they want to leave, or start packing up like they're going to leave, and then you decide you don't want them to leave because you understand that they really, were good for you and good to you, and you don't. But that old saying used to be that you don't miss a thing until it's gone, till it's too late. Well, you start realizing that it really means something to you, and you want to, apologize. And then the person be like, they don't trust you because they know how you treated them. So you can't blame us for being paranoid about you white people. I get scared sometimes because I be thinking that you good, but I don't want you to turn on me. And I have given you, my love. So white folks have got to understand that we have a paranoia of you. And I don't want you to, let me say this, and even a fear of you. But I don't want you to misunderstand that with the fear that we don't have of you. See, the fear that we have of you is the fear of you hating us for no reason. The fear that we don't have of you is of you wanting to wipe us off the planet, because we know that that's not an option for none of us. First of all, it's stupid. It don't make no sense because there's no reason. It's like wanting to wipe something off the planet that has done nothing to you but helped you. That don't make sense. And then there's a different breed of black youth out here that will die first. And that in itself, see, back into the abyss. See, inside the abyss, all this is boiling. It's like a ball. It's boiling. And it's ready to explode like a volcano. Like the one that just exploded recently here. It's about to explode. The abyss is full of evil and different facets and pieces of it. And it's boiling. And it's reaching a high point. It's preparing to reach a high point. Yeah. I got me a little flying wasp around here that wants to hear a little bit of this conversation. So, but anyway, it's trying to reach a high point. All the ingredients for the boiling are coming together. Young black African, so-called African American black men, so-called, are at a point that they can't take no more. The police of America, they at a point that they locked and loaded. Because they ain't finna give no more. And the police are white, mostly. Some blacks that black people would probably consider as Toms. Backing them up, because just think about it now. When the ball explode, when it come together against itself, And did you hear what I said? When the boil itself comes together against itself, when the disease, when the dis-ease, when the ease has been dissed, when now everybody feels like they're ready to go to war in America. Black youth and black people against the police, mostly the face of white police, which turns the whole thing into a race war. Blacks against whites in America. I'm gonna tell you something. See, I saw the boil brewing a long time ago. Yep, I saw it. I knew when 9/11 happened that this was coming. I knew that the war in Afghanistan and Iraq was going to come back to the United States. And that it would be against black people. I knew it. I saw it. Don't ask me how. Don't get mad at me talking about, what you mean you knew that? It just dawned on me that that would happen. I knew a lot of things. I knew that when the trade towers came down, that it was the beginning of the end for America. I knew that that was the trumpet and alarm against the United States of America. I knew that that was the beginning of sorrows. I knew that the Bible was and the Quran were fulfilling themselves. I knew that the time of the end was near. I knew it. And in the scriptures in Zephaniah 2, it read, gather together, gather together, O nation not desired before the decree fall down and come down upon you. And it might be that you are hid in the day of the Lord's anger. What does that mean? For the Great War. What Great War? The Great War in America. The war that's being provoked right now. Who's responsible? Who's responsible for the great war that's being provoked in America and bringing in the military finally in Baltimore? So finally we've inched that far. We've got all, the ball is coming on to a head now. We done inched right on to the point that we finally got the military in there. And boy, you black folks, y'all almost did it. Y'all got real close that time. So Ferguson didn't work. New York didn't work. Baltimore still brewing. Some other places didn't work. But the provocation is in effect. The boil is getting ready to explode. So what I'm saying here to you in a nutshell, because see, in this segment here of the conversation, instead of going so direct, I'm speaking more about the boil itself that is consuming the pus. What did I say? The boil, the outside of the boil that's consuming the pus. Black America, we the pus that's about to explode. The filth that will explode when the boil erupts. And when we explode, it's extermination time. How can you say that? What gives you the authority, Ramondo, to be able to say that? How do you know that? It's obvious. There used to be a time when there were signs of this coming. This is no longer, we're no longer in the sign stage. This past signs. It's obvious. You can't see this, Black America. You can't see that your habits of drug use, and I can't knock none of it, I stand accused of all of it. I am the abyss. The evil. That's been made evil. Born into a world of sin. To become sin. Sinners. Because when you come into the world, you get involved in the activities and the operation of the world. This is the world that we're in America. Black people, you come into the world, you didn't come into the world smoking cigarettes. You didn't come into the world drinking alcohol. You didn't come into the world smoking marijuana, and I love marijuana. You didn't come into the world doing cocaine, and I did plenty of cocaine. You didn't come into the world doing crack. I ain't doing no crack. You didn't come into the world doing heroin. You didn't come into the world doing all these addictive substances. You come into the world wanting some milk, some knowledge. You got some medicine, you got medicated. Your life got medicated. So that they can make sure who is they, Ramondo. Who you talking about, Ramondo? Those that are behind the brilliance of the evil. Who are they? I don't have a clue. And I really don't care. It's actually irrelevant. Because those that created the evil and designed it so brilliantly now are not they're not the see, what can I say? How can I say that? They're overall responsible, but they're not the cure. Okay. I'm gonna bring this to an end. We got a little too many of you guys in here. So